Luxury muscle. Three powerful cars that combine speed with sophistication. Welcome to Vintage Wheels Chronicles. Today we're exploring a side of muscle cars that often gets overlooked: luxury muscle. These weren't just loud, tire-shredding beasts. They were refined, powerful, and dripping with class. They gave you leather seats and quarter-mile speed. They were the perfect answer for drivers who wanted muscle performance without sacrificing comfort. Let's dive into three rare luxury muscle cars that combined elegance with V8 firepower. 1. 1970 Chrysler 300 Hurst, the gentleman's hot rod. The 1970 Chrysler 300 Hurst was a bold creation born from a collaboration between Chrysler and Hurst Performance. It was built as a one-year-only special edition based on the luxurious Chrysler 300. But this wasn't just a flashy land yacht. It was a true muscle car in disguise. Under the massive hood sat a 440 cubic inch TNT V8, pushing out 375 horsepower. It came standard with a 3-speed torque-flight automatic transmission, built to handle all that torque. This car weighed over 4,200 pounds, but it could still rocket down the highway with authority. Its size gave it presence, but its engine gave it bite. The Hurst model came only in spinnaker white with gold accents, a signature Hurst color scheme. It had a fiberglass hood and trunk lid with a unique hood scoop, adding to its aggressive look. Inside, the car was all about comfort. Leather trim, power windows, reclining seats, and wood-grain dash. It even had a center console with Hurst badging, reminding you this wasn't just a cruiser. Only about 485 units were ever made, making it one of the rarest Chrysler muscle machines. The car sat low, wide, and proud, like a brawler in a tailored suit. It could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 7 seconds, impressive for such a heavyweight. At the time, it was the most powerful luxury coupe Chrysler had ever offered. It was marketed as a banker's hot rod, appealing to successful buyers who still wanted thrills. On the highway, it was smooth and stable, yet always ready to unleash raw power. The exhaust note was deep and commanding, but not obnoxious, just refined aggression. It wasn't meant to race on the strip, but it could if you wanted to. The car's handling was better than expected, thanks to its performance-tuned suspension. It came loaded with options: power steering, power brakes, tilt wheel, and even cruise control. What made the 300 Hurst so special was how it blended brute force with full-size comfort. You could intimidate at the stoplight and impress at the country club, all in the same drive. The fiberglass trunk had a molded spoiler, giving it a sporty edge. Its badge didn't scream for attention, but car fans knew what it meant. The interior was whisper-quiet at speed, but the engine was always ready to roar. Most people didn't expect performance from a Chrysler, and that's exactly why it stood out. It was a car for the confident, not the flashy. Today, it's a prized collector's item, rarely seen, but always respected. Few vehicles better represent the concept of luxury muscle than the 1970 Chrysler 300 Hurst. It came, it impressed, and then, like many greats, it vanished. But for those in the know, it remains one of the coolest cars Chrysler ever built. 1966 Oldsmobile Toronado, the front-wheel drive powerhouse. The 1966 Oldsmobile Toronado was a revolution in American car design. It was the first US-built front-wheel drive car since the 1930s, but it was also a muscle machine. Oldsmobile wanted to create something different, and the Toronado was unlike anything else on the road. Its body was wide, sleek, and low, with a long hood and short rear deck, pure GT car style. Under that sculpted hood was a 425 cubic inch rocket V8, making 385 horsepower. It sent all that power to the front wheels through a special turbo-hydromatic 425 transmission. Yes, front-wheel drive muscle. And somehow, it worked. The layout gave it great traction and interior space, and performance was more than respectable. 0-60 in under 8 seconds, quick for such a large, luxury coupe. The styling was radical. Hidden headlights, sharp fenders, and a fastback rear. It looked more like a concept car than a production vehicle. Inside, the Toronado offered full-size comfort with innovative design. A ribbon-style speedometer, deep-set gauges, and futuristic details filled the cabin. It had power everything: windows, seats, steering, brakes, and even optional air conditioning. Despite being front-wheel drive, the car handled well and cornered better than expected. It won Motor Trend's Car of the Year in 1966, thanks to its bold engineering and style. People didn't know what to make of it. Was it a luxury coupe or a muscle car? It was both. The V8 torque was brutal, and it could smoke the front tires with ease. The weight distribution helped it stay planted on the road. It cruised like a Cadillac but moved like a GTO. It was also built like a tank, strong, heavy, and stable. Few dared to build something this radical in the 60s, but Oldsmobile pulled it off, and they made a statement. Performance didn't have to mean rear-wheel drive. The Toronado wasn't flashy in the traditional muscle sense, but it had serious power. Collectors love it today for its innovation and aggressive design. Even in stock form, it feels like a rolling piece of futuristic Americana. It influenced later cars, including the Cadillac Eldorado and Buick Riviera. But the original 1966 model is the one that started it all. If you wanted something bold, fast, and completely different, the Toronado delivered. It proved that luxury and performance could live together in one futuristic body. And while it's often forgotten in muscle car circles, its engineering changed the game. Mercury Cougar XR-7, 429, the refined muscle cat. By 1971, the Mercury Cougar had evolved from a Mustang twin into something more elegant and upscale. The XR-7 trim turned the Cougar into a gentleman's grand tourer, but with muscle lurking beneath the leather. That year, you could option it with the 429 Cobra Jet V8, making up to 370 horsepower. This turned the Cougar into a powerful predator, disguised in formal wear. The styling was bold, with a long hood, hidden headlights, and muscular lines. The grille stretched across the front, giving it a wide, imposing look. Inside, the XR-7 was all class. Wood grain, leather seats, analog clock, and full gauges. It even had optional features like power sunroof, air conditioning, and tilt steering. The 429 gave it incredible straight-line speed, low 14s in the quarter mile. It shared much of its muscle DNA with the Mustang Mach 1, but added refinement. The suspension was soft enough for long cruises, yet planted enough for confident handling. It wasn't trying to be a street racer. It was a fast GT coupe. The XR-7 badge added exclusivity and visual enhancements, including unique wheels and trim. Only a limited number of Cougars were ordered with the 429, making them rare today. The car's dual exhaust note was deep and throaty, yet never harsh. It could quietly cruise the boulevard or loudly dominate a stoplight drag. Mercury marketed the Cougar as the sign of the cat, and it lived up to the slogan. It had claws, but it also had class. Many muscle fans overlooked the Cougar in favor of more famous names. But those who drove it knew. This was a serious performer in a dress shirt. The Cougar's interior quality was among the best of any Ford product at the time. It made you feel like a boss behind the wheel. With the 429 Cobra Jet, it had more than enough bite to back up its roar. It bridged the gap between wild muscle and personal luxury. Sadly, emissions laws and insurance costs would soon kill off big block options like this. The 1971 Cougar XR-7 429 was the last truly powerful Cougar before the model became a shadow of itself. Collectors today hunt for original XR-7s with the big V8, and prices are climbing. It's a symbol of what the luxury muscle segment could have been if the era hadn't ended so quickly. Underappreciated but unforgettable, the Cougar XR-7 429 is a true hidden gem. It was the refined feline with the heart of a lion, and it deserves a spot among the greats. Not all muscle cars screamed for attention. Some whispered power, dressed in leather and chrome. These luxury muscle machines proved you could have performance and polish. Which one of these elegant beasts would you take on a cross-country drive? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more hidden legends here on Vintage Wheels Chronicles.